Hello, my name is VSin, and this is a snapshot of Armored Core Formula Front International Edition. Now, as you can see at the bottom of this, yes, this game actually came out in 2005. What may interest you even more is that this game is only available on the Japanese PSN. Now, what makes this even stranger, let's load into this game here for a second, is, wait for it, full English. Yeah, it's on the Japanese PSN, released in 2005, and full English. So this is Armored Core Formula Front International Edition. There were older versions of Formula Front, the regular Formula Front, and all that good stuff. And so when I found out about this game, mostly from scrap yen that I had left over from all the other PSN cards I had, it's like, hey, Armored Core game, looks interesting. So decided to take a look at it. And in summary, first of all, if you know anything about Armored Core, this is essentially Armored Core 3, only it's ranker battles only, and it has the AI system. First of all, let's go into the system menu for a second. Save, load, delete, save, load, delete, does what you expect them to do. Emblem save and emblem load. Now, emblem is, let's see if this is the right menu. Okay, it doesn't have any emblem data. This one should have emblem data, right? Nope. Emblem save and load, essentially that is, you can design your own team emblem and you can save it. That's about it. Team save, I can just create a save here. Basically, this is your team data. It is the set of mechs that you've customized. Lecture topics, this is actually all in Japanese, by the way. This, I believe, is all Japanese videos. Let's see here. Let's go into performance for a second. Oh. You can see here it's all in Japanese. Because this is the Japanese version, you know. All the text goes by. Let's just skip all this stuff now. So yes, this is in fact the Japanese version, even though the image says in clear English on the right side of the screen. I have no idea why. It's very strange. Key assign. Now, this is where we get into the Vita part. Because these are my current bindings. If you want to look at them again, don't worry, just roll back. These are the current bindings I have. These are the default bindings. Forward, back, left stick, left and right, L and R, look left and right stick, right stick. From the other Japanese games, this is actually, okay, first of all, this is the PlayStation Portable controls that are used by all of the Armored Core 3 games, including Formula Front. I call it Armored Core 3 because of the way it handles. This also seems to be the convention that a lot of Japanese games run by in terms of PSP controls. Why they do this, I have no idea. Let's go down here. Again, these are all the other defaults. Nothing too special. So I'm just going to shift all these back to left, right, look right, arm unit L, this one's this, arm unit R, inside, what the hell did I put for inside? I think it was this, change unit, extension, boost jump, OBEO. I think that was what it was? Yeah. Now, why the heck do I have these bound this way, this particular way? First of all, forward, back, left, right, all to the right stick. Look left or look right, I put on the pad. But you notice that I didn't put arm unit, this down option, arm unit L, and disarmament is up, right? Now let's go into the Vita menu for a second here. Open the settings. Bilinear filtering is bilinear. The one we're talking about here is right stick. Now, this is the first time I've ever thought, wow, they actually made this feature useful. Because you see how it's right stick has the option for left stick, full pad, left and right pad, up and down pad, right side pad, and L and R. This is probably the only game in the world where I would actually say use this left and right only option for the right stick. Because the way that the camera controls work in this game is, at least in manual mode, left and right camera is controlled by you, but vertical camera is controlled automatically. This is actually a very big difference from Armored Core 3, Silent Line, Last Raven Portable, because those versions you do actually have to control the vertical manually. So yeah, left and right on the right stick. That is the one important thing if you want to do manual controls, because if you try to map up and down on the right stick, you will occasionally run into issues where you just accidentally hit it for no apparent reason. And like, for example, if you accidentally bind disarmament, for example, to the one of the right stick controls, then what ends up happening is you randomly start purging your weapons in the middle of battle, which really sucks. So let's get out of here. A weapon that cannot be disarmed exists? Oh, right. What the hell was it up? Oh, that was like reference. Disarmament. Oh, right. I set it to this. And then OBEO is this one. Okay, there we go. Options. Nothing too special. Again, Japanese and English languages. They actually do have both options. You can obviously change it to Japanese, but it would be too confusing for me to look at it. Background music and sound effects, these are the default settings. For the most part, these are fine. And then this is also restore defaults, because you can see, yes, that's defaults. No big deal. Quit game is quit game. Now, let's go into Garage. Let's modify this bugger here. It loads in. Assembly, repository, parts tune, AI tune, paint, name entry, AC test. Now, assembly is the same screen that you get in pretty much every Armored Core game. Select is, let's press start for the key guide. Select part category, equip part, all these various controls. What was I looking at? Parameter displays. So let's see here. Which one should I use? I'll use this one. So you can see the way that this game works is that you basically start the game with every single part, barring maybe a couple that I can't remember. As you can see, you have all these various stats, weight, consumption, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go too in depth about what all these stats do. You can see you have all these various parts. One of the more important things, though, is that if you can see on the left side of the screen how the macro, whatever the hell, the part that I have selected right now, you can see that it is labeled 1 on the left side of the screen, whereas the greenish part is labeled 2. The only restriction to customization is that each part can only be used on one mech in a given team. It can create some interesting situations, but other times it can just be mildly annoying. Because in that case, you have a case where, oh, I wanted to make the perfect mech repeatedly, but unfortunately I can't do that. The odd thing is that there are no team battles, for example. So, for example, say 5-on-5 team battles where you keep going until someone blows up. That feature doesn't exist, which is kind of interesting because then what the hell is the point of the team? Let's get out of the customization for a second. Wait for it to load. Repository. Repository is just a listing of all the... Basically, repository is you want to store the part so that you don't have to go through it every single time you go to the customization menu. That is pretty much all repository does. Wait for the menu again. Parts tune. Now, parts tuning, I forgot which Armored Core started introducing it. Basically, parts tuning, you can see in the parts info there, you have all those bars. What you can do is you can alter the various stats on any given part. So as you can see here, I'm changing the weight there. You have a maximum of 10 points that you can apply. You can see the total tune at the top that says 50%. So if I wanted shell defense, I could put shell defense in here, but and that caps off at 5 because it's a maximum of 10. But I bid it for weight because that's the way this thing is designed. You can do it for head, core, arms, legs, booster, FCS, or lock-on system. Well, you can't do it for FCS, so you can do it for generator, radiator, and then all these other things you can't tune. It's mostly just the body parts that you can tune. You can alter the various little stats there. AI tune. Now, this is the part where you get into what Formula Front is supposed to be about. Base character. So base character behavioral statistics. This is... Okay, when you get into an AI battle, what happens is your mech will move, quote-unquote, randomly. What this essentially does is it affects what it prefers doing. So, for example, this here, I'm saying, okay, prefer long-range combat. Because I have 2 laser rifles on here, they suck at close range. I want to prefer long-range combat. Action varied stable. Stable means you're steady, you will always do more of the same thing, whereas varied is it'll try to mix it up a little bit. Again, this actually depends heavily on stage because, for example, mixing it up is really nice on an open stage, whereas doing the same thing repeatedly is better on a more crowded stage, because on a crowded stage you can end up getting stuck on terrain, and then your mech starts running around like a chicken without a head, and it gets messy. So I'm gonna do slightly more varied than that. Dash high, dash low. Basically, whether you jump up or jump down. I should really put the dash high a little bit higher. Jump high, jump low. How high you jump when you jump. Run high, run low. This is how often your unit runs, as in not dashing, just walks around. And attack, defense, more defensive. There you go. So this is how this affects the basic behaviors. Next one, performance. Performance is, how should I put it? The emphasis. It is just how well it does something. Because theoretically speaking, if you maxed all these out, it would be great at all of this. You can see here, enemy, ability to accurately assess an opponent's status, and terrain, ability to accurately assess surrounding terrain. For example, the terrain, like I mentioned earlier, is completely useless in an open stage because there is no terrain to assess. In a crowded stage, however, this can be more useful. Some of these stats, though, I've found less useful than others. Like heat control is mostly for if your weapons heat you up really high, then you want more heat control. I should probably put more in the defensive strat there. AC control, just how to move the AC. Weapon control, search control. Personally, I like to put a lot in the search control just so I'm more accurate. But sometimes you want to, say, concentrate more on defensive strategies and evasion and all that good stuff. EN control, because this is a laser mech that I'm picking right now, you want a lot of EN control, because otherwise you will be out of EN and then you're screwed, so whatever. And now operations. Operations are, at this point in the battle, what should I do? As you can see here, at the bottom it says set the action to be performed in this time frame. So this one, at the start of the battle, I do nothing. This one, though, it is unit will switch between using its right arm and back weapons often. Just alternate between them and just use them as often as possible. You can also see that on the right side of the screen, number owned, I own 5 of these. So again, if I can only use up to 5 total in my entire team. Or, for example, if I decided to, say, slot another one into the 122nd slot, then I could also do that. Then this is, at the 90-second mark, I say, disarm the back weapons. Doing so would imply that it runs out, or I just want to get rid of it so my mech becomes lighter and can move faster. And then at the 150, this basically says purge and dodge like crazy. These behaviors, I've noticed that sometimes it can be a little bit inconsistent. Purge, for example, purging weapons works 100% of the time. However, something like, say, let's go down here. For example, let's see here. Like jump back works something at the time, but dual back weapon activated, right arm weapon discontinued, left arm and inside remain in use. Sometimes these work, sometimes they don't. Let's see here. Full scale attack. Full scale attack in particular, I've found that this one sometimes doesn't change anything. I'm not sure why, but some of these are just slightly buggy. So I'm just going to save this. Those are my operation chips. I bored the crap out of you for the last 14 minutes. Let's get into a battle, shall we? Paint is paint options. You can paint. Name entry is name entry. Let's use AC test, because I don't want to get in a ranker battle with this terrible unit. AC change. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's use my save data. And I'm going to pit it against this bugger. Let's see your stage select. What would be a good one? Well, let's go random. See what happens. And test start. Now you have manual and AI mode. I'm going to show you AI mode first. It loads up. This little cutscene at the start here, by the way, is not skippable. You can see that's that guy, that's this guy. One is laser, one is projectile. You can also control the camera with, for example, the square button. or triangle. You can see here, triangle is manual control. You see here, I'm manually controlling the camera. Top left is grid 1, bottom right is grid 2. The various statistics that are available. You can also change camera angles. Press X and you can also look from behind the cockpit at what's going on here. Oh, did I already run out of left arm? Oh well. You see here, this is actually how the original Formula Front worked. It was nothing but AI battles. So I believe it actually got panned pretty hard by critics, saying that, oh, it's not that particularly great, but nearing the 60-second mark. Those are my manual camera control skills. Not so much. Oh man, I got hit by a saber attack. Let's see who wins this then. And I lose. Cancel. Oops. So you can see these statistics here. Press circle in order to change it to the green selection range on how much damage you take. So they were both dealing roughly similar damage, but the other person managed to snipe me once with a saber attack. So you have all these crazy little statistics all over the place. EN differences, heat differences. Like, there are a lot of statistics in here. View, replay, retry, no. Alright, now I'm going to do the same battle, only manually. So, in... Blah, blah, blah. Pick this bugger. Test start. Manual. I'm going to show you how... It's different because of, obviously, you have a different camera angle. Also, I set the stage to random, so this is going to be a random stage. Perhaps you noticed it, perhaps you didn't, but... Oh, crap. Alright, let's see. What the heck did I put? That's what I set it to. Alright. So, I'm just going to try and maneuver around. Did I run out of energy already? Yep, I'm really low on energy. Crap. I'm on an emergency recharge. Good times. This is not what you want when you're fighting in an energy boat, because then you get shot to pieces like this. Ah, crap. This isn't working well. Dual wielding for no apparent reason. I'm getting the crap shot out of me and I'm dying. Hooray. In case it wasn't obvious, the unit I called Audacity is actually the unit I'm normally used to playing with. Oh crap. I think he ran out of ammo. No, he did not run out of ammo. And there goes micro missiles eating my face off. Oh well. That was slightly embarrassing. As you can see, the AI can sometimes control better than you, but sometimes it can't. Here, I'm going to change my AC for a second. AC test. I'm going to show you the cheese AC I have. Fat boy. Now, why do I call it my cheese AC? Because, let's see here, load. I had to do this every single time, by the way. For some reason, it never saves your settings. Just put Audacity back in the box. This is why I call it my cheese AC. Because, for some strange reason, this game essentially emphasizes being really fat, tanky, and capable of tons of DPS all at once. Like, being evasive is not very helpful against the AI. Here, allow me to show you why. This guy has a mega beam cannon for a back weapon. Let's get here. 1, 2, nope, missed. Got him. 3, 4. Oops. Let's put the yo up. And as you can see, I kind of just cheesed him. That is actually how a lot of the game goes. You basically just get that laser cannon, put it on a tank, give it a ton of defense, and it cheeses through absolutely everything. Here, for this last battle, I'm going to show you the final boss. Let's get out of here. League match. Where was it? Where the hell is it? Team data. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, ranking, that's what I was looking for. Okay. So, I'm gonna battle this guy. This guy's the final boss, by the way. Famously speaking, though, for some reason, this final boss is known for being absolutely terrible. So here we go. I'm gonna set it to AI control, and I'm gonna show you how fast this final boss ends. At least I think it's gonna end fast. Let's see what happens. Yep. Well, this won't end well if I miss all of my laser cannon shots. Taking all the heat damage. Come on, just have to hit the laser cannon once. On second thought, this may or may not have been a false cheese. Okay, never mind, I got wrecked. Let's do this manually, because apparently AI has no idea how to aim. Let's try this manually then. My bad. Well, that was embarrassing. Manual. There you go. Let's try to not make an ass out of myself this time. Alright, get behind this cover first. Let's see. Okay, he's not getting any closer, is he? Oh, crap. Yeah, that's not going to hit anything. Yep, missed that shot again. Well, apparently I suck. Go me. Managed to hit him once, twice, and then I blow up. Go me. Okay, never mind. So apparently it was only easy on with different something else. I don't know, it's strange, because I remember beating the snot out of him the first time I had this battle. Maybe I'm picking the wrong stage, or I don't know. I'm gonna do this, damn it, I'm gonna do this! Which one? Oh, Arena. I think it was this one. Match start. I'm going to do it manual. Let's do it without Dracity. See what happens. I don't know. I could get my ass horribly kicked, but... Okay, it was not Hollow Arena, but still. Where the hell is this guy? Oh man, he took a ton of heat damage. Where the hell is he? Let's see. Yep, still got wrecked. Oh well, did slightly better that time. No big deal. So I don't know, let's come to a verdict on this, shall we? Even though I did in fact manage to get past the main campaign and all that good stuff. And I did manage to beat this guy. Oh well. I don't know, my final verdict though is that At the end of the day, this is kind of bare bones. I mean, you can tell how short those battles were. You just kind of fire through them one after the other, one after the other. Mech customization can be extremely fun, but you have to spend a lot of time staring at all the screens, and you have to go through all the stuff. As you can see, I'm not particularly good at this. I'm not particularly good at this game right now because I haven't played it in several months, and this is like one of the first times I picked it up in a while. But January's been a bit slow, so gotta figure out something to throw on YouTube. Overall, would I recommend this game? This is mostly for people who already spent something on the Japanese PSN and have 1,500 yen or more left over, because this costs 1,500 yen. And that's a discount from the previous listing of, what the heck was it? 2,400 yen, I believe? So it got discounted from that. And also, this is a game that you cannot get under the North American PSN for some inexplicable reason. And you can tell it's full English. Well, why not? If you want a random fact, though, the Japanese PSN doesn't have Armored Core 3, Silent Line, or Last Raven portable on it either, which is kind of strange too, because that's a Japanese game. Why don't they have it? Oh, I don't know what's going on with this, but at the end of the day, this is gimmicky. This is mostly for if you have leftover money and you want to buy something else with it. Here's an option for you for the Japanese PSN. If not, don't feel the urge to buy it immediately. Like I said, it's very bare bones. It's mostly for people who already enjoy Armored Core. And even in terms of all the ratings it got back in 2005 and all the other time, whenever the heck it got translated, it's an okay game. It does what it's supposed to do, and that's about it. Even though I went through all those AI customization screens, honestly, like, the AI seems mostly flimsy, and it sort of kind of changes behaviors, I think, ish. Like this isn't, say, Carnage Heart. Carnage Heart is you program the entire AI from the ground up. This is you mildly influence the general behaviors that every single AI already goes through. It just, whatever. I don't know. TLDR, this is for the money that you already have and need to spend somehow. For everybody else, don't worry about it. My name has been VSin. Thanks for watching.